At PJHQ in Northwood, Siref saw Lieutenant General Nick Houghton, another Oxford graduate, and newly in post as Chief of Joint Operations. CJO Northwood was the individual to whom all British field commanders reported and the man who supposedly directed their activities. We're going to need to mount a major operation because we're on the back foot, Siref said. I do not want to see a display of military testosterone on the streets of Basra, Houghton replied. In London, the need to support the Americans was understood, but there was also an overwhelming sense of the requirement for a prompt exit. That had colored the British perception really from the start. In retrospect, going back right to the end of combat operations in 2003, Siref believes. From then on, there was a sort of assumption that southeast Iraq was going to become very quickly a post-IFOR Bosnia. In Balford, Siref, Cowan, and their headquarters staff conducted an estimate. The general briefed his subunit commanders. The operation was to be called Salamanca. All the commanding officers and key staff from 19th Light Brigade, which was to provide the majority of troops for Salamanca, came to Balford for a study week. Among them was Justin Makiezewski in 2003 on the planning staff at 1st Division. Makievsky was now a lieutenant colonel and commanding officer of the 1st Battalion of the Royal Green Jackets, due to deploy to Iraq in late 2006. After Siref spoke, Makievsky's notes read as follows: The time has come to take the offensive against the enemy and challenge the defeatists who seem to pervade Whitehall and much of Northwood. The British Army was not going to lose its name in Iraq. Siref returned to Basra in July and concluded that things had not changed. The issue in Basra is the lack of security, and until we establish this, there can be no peace, he wrote in his first weekly report back to London on 21st July.